1945, etched in history books marking the end of a global conflict. In this chilling alternate reality, it signifies something far more sinister, the dawn of Nazi domination. The world cowers under the swastika's shadow, a symbol of hate and oppression. Once vibrant streets of Europe now echo with the goose-stepping of stormtroopers. The air hangs heavy with fear. This is a world where hope has been extinguished, and the darkness of tyranny reigns supreme. The heart of Europe, once vibrant, has become the Reich's dominion. The Nazi regime has carved up the continent like a prize. Jackboots of the SS trample upon democracy. Resistance is met with brutal retribution. France, Poland, and the Soviet Union have been absorbed into the Nazi Empire. Each day brings fresh horrors as the SS implements racial purity. The echoes of screams from concentration camps remind of the regime's brutality. Collaboration and betrayal are rewarded. Those who resist are met with swift punishment. Streets are patrolled by the Gestapo, their eyes everywhere. The slightest whisper of dissent can lead to a concentration camp. The intellectual and artistic communities of Europe have been silenced. Universities and museums stand empty, echoing with the ghosts of a bygone era. The Nazi regime has choked the life out of European culture. Across the vast expanse of Asia, Hitler's victory has emboldened his Axis ally, Imperial Japan. With the Western powers in disarray, Japan's ambitions of a greater East Asia co-prosperity sphere have become a terrifying reality. The Japanese war machine, fueled by conquest and fanaticism, tightens its grip on the region. China, already ravaged by years of war, groans under the heel of Japanese occupation. The brutal regime bleeds the country dry, exploiting its resources and its people. Resistance, though fierce, is ultimately futile against the might of the Imperial Japanese Army. The horrors of the Nanking Massacre, a mere taste of the Japanese brutality, become commonplace. Burmese jungles to the Indonesian archipelago, the shadow of the rising sun casts a long and terrifying shadow. The dream of Asian unity promised by the Japanese has become a nightmare of oppression and exploitation. The people of Asia, subjected to the yoke of a new tyranny, look westward with a mixture of fear and desperate hope. Though spared from direct military conquest, the United States finds itself a shadow of its former self. Shock of the Allied defeat reverberates through American society. Isolationism, once a fringe belief, now dominates the political landscape. Haunted by the specter of Nazism, America turns inward. Its people, disillusioned and fearful, cling to the remnants of their shattered dreams. The once vibrant spirit of innovation and progress has been replaced by suspicion and paranoia. President Roosevelt, his health failing under the weight of a world gone mad, struggles to maintain a semblance of normalcy. American people, their confidence shaken, withdraw into a shell of isolationism. Beacon of hope that America once represented for the world has been extinguished. Arsenal of democracy has fallen silent, its production lines still. The world watches, waiting with bated breath to see what fate awaits the sleeping giant. In this twisted timeline, the fires of war have forged a chillingly advanced technological landscape. The Nazi regime, obsessed with power and domination, has poured immense resources into developing weapons of unimaginable destructive potential. Skies are dominated by advanced Luftwaffe aircraft, their sleek and deadly forms striking fear into the hearts of those who remember the Blitz. Jet engines, developed with frightening speed, propel these aerial predators across the skies. The desolate plains of Europe echo with the rumble of panzer divisions, now equipped with heavier armor and more powerful guns. The technological prowess of German engineering, once a source of national pride, has been twisted to serve the needs of the Nazi war machine. Development of the atomic bomb, shrouded in secrecy, takes on a sinister new urgency. The world holds its breath, knowing that the unleashing of such power could mean the end of civilization as we know it. Tendrils of Nazi control reach far beyond military might, ensnaring every aspect of life. Education, art, literature, and music all are perverted to serve as tools of indoctrination, molding minds to fit the Führer's twisted vision. The vibrant tapestry of cultures that once colored the world is systematically bleached, replaced with the sterile, monolithic facade of Nazi ideology. Individuality is a dangerous liability in this new world order. The flames of dissent are ruthlessly extinguished. Books are burned, newspapers shuttered, and voices of opposition silenced. Fear becomes the primary tool of control, as the Gestapo's omnipresent network of informants casts a long shadow over everyday life. The world watches, horrified, as the very soul of humanity is slowly extinguished. The once bright flame of freedom flickers precariously in the encroaching darkness, threatening to be snuffed out entirely. Despite the pervasive atmosphere of fear and oppression, the human spirit, much like a stubborn ember, refuses to be entirely extinguished. At the surface of this dystopian world, seeds of resistance are sown, taking root in the darkest of corners. Shadows of bombed-out cities and within the whispering walls of once grand universities, small pockets of defiance emerge. Individuals, driven by an unyielding belief in freedom and justice, band together, their courage fueled by the faintest glimmer of hope. These resistance movements, though fragmented and geographically dispersed, represent a flickering beacon of defiance against the encroaching darkness. They are fueled by a shared yearning for a world free from the suffocating grip of Nazi tyranny. Their acts of sabotage, though seemingly insignificant in the face of the Nazi war machine, serve as a powerful symbol of hope. They are a testament to the indomitable human spirit, a spirit that even the most brutal regimes cannot entirely crush. The path of resistance is fraught with danger. The Nazi regime, ruthless in its pursuit of absolute control, shows no mercy to those who dare to defy its authority. The Gestapo, with its vast network of informants and its chillingly efficient methods of interrogation, becomes the nightmare of the resistance. Capture means almost certain death, often preceded by brutal torture in the depths of a Gestapo prison. Yet, despite the ever-present threat, the men and women of the resistance fight on, their courage fueled by a desperate hope for a better future. Their acts of sabotage, though small in scale, serve as a thorn in the side of the Nazi war machine. They disrupt supply lines, spread messages of hope, and remind the regime that its grip on power is not absolute. Every act of defiance, no matter how small, comes at a terrible price. Families are torn apart, and the very fabric of society is strained to its breaking point. Decades pass, the world settles into a grim new reality. The initial shock of Nazi victory fades, replaced by a chilling acceptance of the New World Order. Lines between collaboration and resistance blur, as individuals grapple with the complexities of survival under tyranny. The global landscape is cleaved in two, the oppressed masses living under the iron fist of the Reich, those fortunate enough to exist beyond its immediate grasp. The former struggle to maintain their humanity in a world devoid of basic freedoms, the latter grapple with the guilt and uncertainty of their newfound isolation. In the Nazi sphere of influence, a new generation, born into a world where Hitler's victory is a matter of historical record, struggles to come to terms with its legacy. The old hatreds, though never forgotten, are tempered by time and the harsh realities of everyday life. Outside the Reich's immediate control, fear gives way to a wary vigilance. The world holds its breath, acutely aware that the peace is a tenuous one, maintained only by the constant threat of Nazi aggression. In this dystopian reality, time marches on. The Nazi regime, though seemingly invincible, is not immune to the corrosive effects of time and internal strife. Seeds of discontent, sown in the early years of the occupation, begin to bear fruit. Decades of oppression and economic inequality fuel a new wave of resistance movements. Movements, unlike their predecessors, are larger, more organized, and driven by a potent blend of ideological fervor and economic desperation. The world watches with a mixture of hope and trepidation as these new challenges to Nazi authority emerge. The outcome remains uncertain, a stark reminder that even the most oppressive regimes are not immune to the tides of history. The echoes of the past reverberate in the present, a chilling reminder of the fragility of freedom and the ever-present potential for tyranny to re-emerge. This alternate history, though fictional, serves as a chilling reminder of the fragility of freedom and the importance of vigilance. It highlights the devastating consequences of complacency and the importance of actively defending the values of democracy and human rights. By peering into this dark reflection of what might have been, we gain a deeper appreciation for the sacrifices made by those who fought against Nazi tyranny. It serves as a stark reminder of the importance of learning from the past and of actively combating all forms of intolerance and oppression. The world we live in today, though far from perfect, is a testament to the resilience of the human spirit and the enduring power of hope. A world that we must never take for granted, a world that we must constantly strive to improve for ourselves and for generations to come. This alternate history serves as a chilling reminder. The price of freedom is eternal vigilance.